So I keep in touch with people and talk to people on this channel often, just on the phone and even over email. And I think there's more of a, I want to clarify something. I think it's important the kind of work you're doing, and I think it's important on the terms you're doing it. So are you working for a shop that bills your hour? Or are you working for a shop that supports a fleet? Or you see the difference is because one is just trying to keep up readiness. And so they can't afford to pay you because they don't charge anyone $250 an hour for your work. It's all internal. It's an actual expense to the company. And they'll never see how much of that expense they don't have to incur because they have you to save the day. Instead, they just never see those numbers. So the only other way of actually seeing those hard numbers and creating a monetary value, I think, is at a place like a dealership or at a place that bills your hour, but not on flat rate terms, on efficiency terms. So if I bill the hour, if I get an hour and I bill it and I'm only working on the shop for an hour, that's 100%, and anything below that and beyond that. But the flat rate to me sometimes sets you guys up to lose because clearly we know there's not always time to do the job that needs to be done, or especially procedurally the way it needs to be done. So we end up with a lot of fraud and people claiming things that happen on warranty and things that don't in the dealership network. There's a lot of hustle in this at any angle. But what I found is that it's a better scenario to go and work at the dealer 3 to 5 years, get your basis of information, and then go out to the world and sell that to an independent where they are willing to pay you more maybe even than the dealer did. And they're not necessarily holding you to the fire on everything, but you're so well-rounded that you're such a valuable asset that they see your value. And I think it's hard to be seen for your value at a dealership, which is why I would say don't spend too long inside of one. That's why I say keep your toolboxes down to a minimum and you're not going to be put in a position where you can't take another job. Try to keep that tool bill down to a point where you could pay it off with $1,000. And I know that's tough and that's hard to say, but pay cash for as much as you can with tools because tool trucks will usually take cash and maybe even give discounts. But it does help to own the shit that you have as far as tools to do your job. That way, if you're not being done well, you can go to another place because a lot of the guys do get in the bind of having tool expenses that keep them from making a shift to a better job. All right, that's my 2 cents, and I'll keep rambling if you guys will keep listening.